Bako. I work with Speakers Corner Trust in Nigeria. I want to hear about organizations that have been working with people that have suffered in various ways from the insurgency, to see what they're doing, how we can help, to get more information about what they've been doing, and also to find out about opportunities available for people who are affected by the various insurgency and other issues to gain from their experience.
My name is Chana, representing Oxford. Thank you for coming to the event and helping celebrate the International Women's Day. As once said by Michelle Obama, when women and girls rise, the communities and the countries rise with them. And indeed, women and girls are rising. A woman is a full circle. Within her is the power to create, nurture, and transform. Thank you.
Without the women, there will be no nation. Women are the people that put food on the table, and we are the people that are facing challenges. My name is Sophia Christopher. Grassroots farmers are the people that bring us food on your tables. Even the president is eating from the grassroots farmer. The senators, when you abandon them, they abandon them. Today I want to tell you that we have to empower them.
The woman who has, by God's divine plan, been given to the man as a compliment to make living on the surface of the earth very pleasant. In many areas has been marginalized, but we thank God, the rural woman, that local farmer, in her little corner, she has contributed so much to douse the effects of food security. God bless us as we take and work on this.
Let me just share an experience as it has been said. One of us was seriously affected. Oxfam helped this woman. She was able to have about 8 engines or machines that helped her to take care of her family, help her husband. But as it happened, they were driven away from their village, and all these machines were packed. Their houses were burnt, everything. Only the clothes they were able to escape to it. Thank God that her children were in school, not with him. And the children said, but many children, men and women were killed, and the boys were killed.
My name is Binti Conte, and we're representing the International Rescue Committee. Women have limited access to income because they cannot engage in business and family activities. They also have limited employment opportunity since they have to take care of the home and the children. These has however increased their vulnerability to sexual abuse and exploitation and domestic violence. In order to have internally displaced women actively participate in the economic, social, and political spheres, the following recommendations are made. 1. Providing income-generating activities for women in the IDP camps. 2. Improve access to basic services such as wash and sanitation and environmental health, then health, which includes primary health care and reproductive health and education, etc. Provide adult literacy classes for women. Then create women community centers or spaces for psychosocial activities.
Women had received some funding from the European Commission last year to carry out a project or program in the northeast of Nigeria to address issues about women's peace and security. A particular camp official was accused of defiling a 2-year-old child. I mean, here is a camp official whose role it is to protect the interests of women and children in the camp. And you are the very one who is attacking and defiling these children. In terms of recommendations, I'll just highlight a few so I don't take your time. Implementation of commitments around women's peace and security, grounded in the right instruments. Maternal health and reproductive health should be a priority in any IDP camp setting, as well as prevention. Of course, we know that prevention is better than cure. So prevention of HIV and prevention of violence. Socio-economic rights, which include land, education, literacy, economic security, primary health are also a priority, and efforts need to be put in place to address them, particularly for women and children. Access to legal protection, that's very important, and a fair system of justice are vital for displaced women and children to live a life of dignity and adequate protection. Thank you.
Lucky is a program that's focusing specifically on peace building and conflict resolution. We work in some of the most conflict-affected parts of the country. Women and girls have been taken from schools, from markets, during raids, on public transport, during and after attacks on villages, and as they travel on roads. One of my colleagues spoke 2 years ago to one of the women who escaped. She said that she'd been raped repeatedly by 10 to 15 men a day. And she said, you know, these boys, they're young enough to be my sons. And this really affected her very badly. She managed to escape, but unfortunately, when they did the routine, HIV testing, it was found out that she was pregnant. Her husband found it very difficult to accept her back. Despite everything that they do, the conflict is really viewed in very masculine terms. It's seen as a clash between young men in the army, young men who are part of JAS or Boko Haram, and young men who are part of the civilian JTF. We don't really see what women do and also the impact of violence on women and girls. And I think this shows really the vibrancy and the dynamism of the women in the Northeast and what they can and they do. And really for us all, we should be thinking how we can support them.
In the FIDA fights for is the promotion and enhancement of the rights of women and children, believing that in enforcing these rights lies the happiness of the home and the strength of society. You know, the society is made up of families. FIDA has been advocating on the effects of sexual violence on women, not only the health of a woman, her own confidence level, and so many other issues that, psychological well-being and all that affects the woman when she's sexually abused or treated in a terrible way by her partner or her husband or whoever is in her life. We need more women involved in the management of this ID camp so that they can bring to the table the things that peculiarly concern women. We also said we need to have more enforcement of the rights of women and children, to stop human trafficking where it exists. And as much as we can, we'll encourage anybody who comes across such situation to let us know, because we're in a position to do something about it. Thank you very much.
But we reached a point at which we can give opportunity to you, the members of the audience, to either ask one or two questions or share one or two interventions some of you may have taken part.
I will take a few issues in staccato fashion because I've done a little this morning. First of all, I want to call attention to the fact that we are standing in the gap with the women in the Northeast, and we are taking Adamawa so far. We have written a proposal on the provision of microcredit to women to stem the tide of selling their bodies for food. So we found that some of them should be more than 10,000 to set up pack-making incentives for themselves, some groundnuts, roasting, and so on and so on. I belong to the farmers group, and that's why I see this concern as a priority. The beginning is making ICT, civic education, having a voice, dialoguing, tracking election promises. What are those things they have pledged to the farmers? We are not getting there. And then they should stop this tokenistic support they are giving to women. Bank of Industry should trickle down to smaller molecules to make sure that the women farmers also benefit and have many. I feel this is the starting point. Thank you.
For this particular session, we're going to be talking with different agencies and organizations that are actually having opportunities in terms of providing finances or providing income generating interventions for women and also IDPs.
We are a financial institution, and our response to the topic here is more of prevention rather than cure. We prefer to be more preemptive rather than reactive, and largely because our duty lies in delivering credit to Nigerians, micro, small, medium, and large loans to eligible Nigerian farmers wherever they are under the sun. We take pains to go and visit them and give them credits of all sorts. That's majorly what we do, and we feel that our solution is empowering you rather than wait until you are affected by uncertainty and conflicts before we come into to assist. Besides that is to say that our machinery is on ground to assist even in those situations because of our presence at the doorsteps of each Nigerian. I thank you for listening.
For instance, the Central Bank of Nigeria has the Agricultural Credit Guarantee Scheme. We also have the Commercial Agricultural Credit Scheme cards. We have the SME Credit Guarantee Scheme, the SME Restructuring Refinancing Facility, to mention but a few. But there are two of the schemes that I want to take a little bit of time to dwell on. The first one is the Entrepreneurship Development Centers. And these were introduced in 2006 with the objective of developing entrepreneurship spirit among Nigerians, inculcating capacities of trainees to successfully start, manage, diversify, and expand their businesses, create financial linkage between trainees and financial institutions, and generate employment and raise a new crop of internationally competitive entrepreneurs and business owners. I will now go to say, because when we are invited, I think the focus was on the micro, small, and medium enterprise development fund. So this is also another iconic initiative of the Central Bank of Nigeria that we're doing to ensure women economic empowerment and then gender equality. Because we believe without these two, any development that we achieve is not sustainable. The MSME Development Fund was launched in 2013, and the share capital of the loan is 220 billion naira. People can access this loan from participating financial institutions through all lending, and it will be at a single digit of 9% interest rate. Ladies and gentlemen, the beauty of this fund also is that 60% of it is earmarked or is committed for lending to women enterprises and 2% to persons with disability or physically challenged that are active entrepreneurs.
Business Women Association is a rural-based organization We believe investing in women or empowering women is not just the right thing to do, but it's the smartest thing to do. Because when you empower a woman, you are not just empowering a family or community, you are empowering the entire nation. And it has been proven the world over that women, when they are given loans or grants, they make very good use of it. They are good at repaying it. Everyone seated here should see him or herself as the voice to the voiceless indigenous women. Speak out for them. Defend the less intelligent. People who are educated are just privileged. And when you are privileged, that means you have a great responsibility. Life is about making an impact. We must get to a point in our lives where it's not about the things we gather, it's about the impact we make. I want to thank you for taking time to listen to me. And as we walk towards making it happen for the other woman, remember, if it's not okay with your sister, it can never be okay with you. It can happen to anybody. It's just the grace of God that we are preserved. Preserved for the purpose to make a difference.
Adams Peter, the Program Director for the Youth Program on Agriculture and Entrepreneurship Development in Nigeria. I have two questions or two concerns here that